All right, everyone, welcome to the SEO news for week 42. So that was last week. I've gathered all the cool, juicy news, guides, analysis, everything you need to know to navigate the SEO and AI landscape. So let's just jump in. My name is Frederick Drost. I work at Precis. There's a little logo somewhere there. And yeah, let's just jump right in. There's so much stuff here. A lot of analysis last week. Big thing around AI right now is publishing cases about AI stuff. Pretty good content marketing strategies for some of the tools, and of course everything. And we can see graphite.io, it's one of the first times I've featured them, talking about how AI generated content surpasses human written in volume. So again, this is done on like 60 or 90k URLs or articles recently published. So it's a limited study, it's not the entire web, but it looks very much like we're looking at the 50% mark of content being AI generated is above. They've used a specific AI tool to figure out if it's AI generated. Again, it's pretty hard to say. There's some false positives. I can see here 65 English language articles. Again, this just sparks a debate around, we know Google doesn't punish necessarily AI content. It punishes slop, mass manipulation, trying to gain visibility in search engines. But again, the recommendation here is you can use AI for research, you can generate certain content, but you need a human element part of it, right? You need to have humans check it, we need unique insights, and what really will make your content stand out is a lot of unique insights, things you can bring to it that AI can't. So that is really the main lesson here. But really interesting article nonetheless. A lot of people taking this a little bit too seriously in terms of, the web is being destroyed, but before AI, most of the internet was spam as well. It was so much not AI generated, but plagiarized crap thrown together on websites. So I'd say it's nothing new here. People are trying to game it, the system, for a long time. Here's a cool one. Search Pilot, one of their lovely case studies. I love to follow those guys. Does breadcrumbs on page and markup help? So this was very interesting. They actually did an initial one where they added the breadcrumbs and the markup on the website. Nothing happened. And they realized that on mobile, the breadcrumbs wasn't shown. So on mobile, we still have the structured data, but on page, you couldn't see the breadcrumbs. And so we never got any snippet for breadcrumbs in the SERPs. They then made it visible on the mobile on page, and they gained the snippet. They saw an increase in, let's see how much here, 5% traffic gain, again, without changing rankings. So the lesson here is, if you mark something up, also show it, and make sure you double check on mobile. This was mobile first indexing, so it's really important that it's in the markup and on the page as well. Google will probably double check both of those. So good learning there. Thanks, Search Pilot. This Google coming out and talking about AI overviews, multimodal search, and AI mode. Just pretty generic article, top of the line. But what I really liked here was that its search is not only about optimizing for keywords alone. It's about aligning content with how users naturally ask questions. Again, there's now the big talk about query fan-out technique. Should we create content? And sometimes I talk to clients and I say, instead of just looking at keywords, are there any of these questions from a query fan-out simulator that you think your audience might actually find useful? Well, then let's create that. So we're actually being more audience focused right now, and we're of course using AI to help it, but we need human oversight as well. So pretty top level article here. Next up, we've got Lily Ray's bets for the next algorithm update. Love her predictions. These are great. Let me go through them, right? An influx of thin robotic pages meant to influence LLMs. Again, she's talking about what the Google will devalue. Repetitive best listicle articles, self-surfing ones will be delisted. Keyword entity stuffing with a seen in resurgence with geo or AEO. Excessive AI-generated or AI-assisted content. Excessive plus low engagement. That's been the case for a while. Obvious spam tactics for geo like prompt injection. Love these. Not much to say. What will they value more? That's another question. Maybe I'll try and figure that out and talk about it in next week's video. AI mode, there's a few AI mode behavior studies here which are really interesting. For example, let's see here, where was it? Yeah, so there was one here, and then Google AI mode SEO impact part 2. So both of these are kind of one on behavior, another one more on clicks. The main insight I saw from reading this is people will stay on AI mode. they get a lot of the answers. There's not a lot of click-throughs. A lot of the clicks that goes away from AI mode onto websites are transactional or commercial. People want to finalize their purchase or anything like that. But the highest click-through rate in terms of links were links that were embedded like with an anchor and not the little source links. So if you're targeting a specific AI mode query or something, look into that. The anchor links, the ones embedded in the text, get more clicks than the actual source links. So that was a really good and interesting learning. And then finally here for AI mode, what I found interesting here is let's see, where can I find it here? Prioritize inline links. So yeah, I said that. Shopping pack, optimize for shopping packs and merchant cards if you sell products. Makes a lot of sense. So be high in your e-commerce game. You know, merchant center feeds, structured data, all that stuff needs to be correct. Local optimization, do not ignore it. And then the conversational style engagement in your content. Not sure what that really means, honestly. But again, back to brand trust as well. So branding is important, makes sense. But again, have a read of these two, they're quite good. One of the things that stood out as well was the people are talking about here. The amount of people in the US now using AI mode is right around 1%. So it's still not it's not being used that much. And I feel like if Google makes this the default, they're doing a disservice to their users. I think a lot of people still rely or want blue links. So it'll be interesting to see if they make it default. I think that will be kind of scary, but I hope not. Really don't hope that. I hope it's an option. Also, it costs them a lot of money to generate compared to normal results. So I don't know how they're making money off that. Here's an interesting one. Google's Goldmine system. So somebody has been digging into, remember that warehouse API leak from Google, where we got a lot of ranking factors? Still have that on my computer. Haven't really dug into it, but a lot of better people than me have done that. One of those people came out with something new recently, even though it's been a while. And it reveals how titles are scored and selected. So it's like this SERP, really looking into the SERPs and how a lot of things are affecting what's being ranked overall. And we can see here we have title tags, heading tags, internal, external anchor text, fallback titles from etc. etc. What really stood out to me in this, which is a really good article, it's very in-depth, it's a must-read, I think. You can see here a lot of times they look at all the different things from NavBoost, but the title tag, this shows how important it is if you have title tags that are too long, optimizing the titles, internal and external links as well. And it goes back to the basics. I really like this type of article. So I really think this is a must-read. It really shows the importance of titles, H1s, all the basics, and engagement as well. And that I think the final conclusion here is we should still be working to satisfy users with our content and not Google, right? That's really the main point of content. That's why we should be making it. Have that in mind all the time. So yeah, it's pretty, it's a pretty technical article here. I can see I highlighted this. Technical precision, avoid duplicate phrases, stay within pixel limits, etc., etc. The existence of an average term weight attribute. So there's even the font size of your H1. So by prominently showing your H1 compared to not, will actually affect how you rank. I think that's really interesting. So definitely a must read. A really cool article on LLM visibility trackers. Is it a nice to have or a strategic SEO tool? Not going into detail, but I'll keep it top level. If you're wondering if you need an LLM visibility tracker, this is a really good article that kind of goes through what it's good for, what it's bad for, is it overrated, how good is the data, etc., etc. Really good article there and very relevant right now. There's a lot of great articles. Another must read here from Career. So this is a person running this. I can't remember his name now, but the generative engine optimization grift, why it's mostly a marketing merit. So he's going through how geo is just SEO, etc., and how it all goes back to, geo is SEO with rebranding. Focus on the fundamentals, avoid the grift, protect your brand, search will persist. I really like this. The medium changes, but the human need for discovery does not. This is the point of view from most of the top SEO people I follow that I find to be respectable. That is the view of them. So anyone else telling you anything like that, again, we can do AI visibility audits, but most of the tickets are something I'd find in a normal SEO audit with a few minor checks like can AI bots access your site, etc. JavaScript dependent, etc. There's a few things, but most of them are SEO. So Very good article, very long, very well researched from a person who was head of content for, I think, Ahrefs and somewhere else. Here's a small one. Google updated its merchant-centered policies to allow merchants to sell physical goods through subscription models. So again, razor blades coming in every month, all these physical goods subscriptions. So update your feeds in merchant-centered. Make sure this is something you're looking into if you have that as an option. And then we've got the final one here. Really cool stuff, an analysis on structured data and the implications for AI responses. There's been tons of articles around structured data, how it relates to AIs. Are they using it? Are they not? Last week we talked about how you might not be able to ask it specifically, but it parses it and uses it, but you can't really get it out of the response. So like it might use some of it to infer what the page is about, but you're not really going to be able to ask it specifically about the structured data on the page. That's pretty much the setup. This goes a bit deeper. I really like this. It's a very good analysis. Bottom line here, it's less about ranking and more about stabilizing what AIs can safely say about you. So structured data gives more consistent answers about your brand, maybe your address, opening hours, etc. Clean HTML semantics comes first, then layer JSON LD to improve certainty, reduce hallucinations, and potentially earn a larger share of the AI answer window. So there was a little bit about how structured data might affect the size of the AI snippets in your answer window. But yeah, it's worth it. It also applies to SEO classically. But of course, if you just have good HTML, that's the first step, right? And then we can work on structured data. So one of the better and more recent analysis on AI and structured data there. Again, really, really good stuff. And that was it for the SEO and AI news this week. Thanks for listening. All the links and short summaries of each in the descriptions. You can almost send it as an email to someone, share it easily, or go and read up on all the good stuff here. I've just given you where to look and you can prioritize yourself. Otherwise, have a great week and I will see all of you SEO AI nerds next week.